Hello, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Metal Gear University.
I am T.
And I am Kay, your lovely host, TK of TK&M.
Don't ask for M.
Don't ask for him at all. Please don't. No questions, please.
They're the dean.
If you see them, it's already too late.
You're in trouble. Your grades are failing. It's bad news. You don't ask. Just don't ask.
Have you ever been called into the guidance office or met the dean or principal of the school?
Yes.
For what? Is it a story for another time?
I was a very rambunctious child. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh my god. It's funny, during college, applying for colleges, I one time went to the guidance officer with the head of the English department at my high school, because the guidance counselor was not, she's being really bad to me, not helpful, not supportive, and I was the first one really applying to college for the first time in my family, and the dean came with me for support, and the guidance counselor was talking, and at one point the dean cuts her off and she's like, "You're being really rude right now to Crystal. Wow. I'm gonna need you to," and I was 17,
Okay. I'll tell mine. I'll try to keep my story brief.
Okay.
I was a little kid, right? And granted, I had a reputation of being a fighter.
Okay.
Not anymore. And I wasn't a bad kid. Anyway. This one time, I'm on the playground during recess, and I see these 3 kids jumping this other kid, and I'm like, "That ain't right. That's not fair." So I run over, and I try to help this one kid by dragging him away.
I remember this. Go ahead.
And I try to drag him away, but in the process, the other 3 kids are just wailing on him.
So you're giving them free punches.
I am, but I wasn't trying to. I was legit trying to help.
You hooked your arms.
I did, because I tried to drag him away. I hooked my arms under and I tried to drag him away, and these other kids were just going to town. And then, of course, somebody sees this, and we all get called into the principal's office. And then, I'll never forget this. The principal was like, "I've never seen this before. You guys acted like a gang. What is this? Holding somebody while other people punch them." And I was trying to say, "No, I was trying to drag him away. Please, someone believe me." And then, of course, the other kid, that got punched and everything, didn't believe me. I wouldn't believe me.
You're sick of boys. They were just getting free stomach punches.
Yo, I was so mad.
I bet you that guy still thinks about it to this day. He's like, "Yo, that man held me up."
I didn't mean to.
Just kidding. Damn, what grade was that?
It was 3rd grade.
Wow, that was like a gang. Get them, boys.
Yo, it was crazy. I was sincerely trying to help, and it just wasn't. It wasn't my day. It really wasn't his day either.
I think he got the worst of all of it.
Oh, man.
I used to hate when you get in trouble or there's a fight in school and both people get in trouble. Obviously, one person started the fight. But anyway, how's your week been, T?
It's been good.
Yeah.
I bit the bullet. I bought the battle pass. I'm playing Fortnite.
Wow, look at you.
I know.
You just a Metal Gear simp. You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't. I really can't.
This man comes to me one day and he's like, "How much is the battle pass?" I'm like, "Tom, get the battle pass. Don't play games. Gonna be coy. How much is it? Oh, let me just download the game and see how much. Buy the game.
Okay.
Don't tiptoe around."
I didn't tiptoe around it.
And you went in and you got all the characters.
Because here's the thing for me. I bought the battle pass, and I was under the mindset of I want to get the stuff that I want to get ASAP, because I knew that the moment I lost interest, I would forget about it and I would not get it and I would waste my money.
Yeah, I didn't realize with Fortnite you only have a certain amount of time to get these characters. So I lost out on Leon and Jill and Chris.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, the seasons are months and months long. But I know myself enough to know that once I forget about it, it's out of my mind.
Yeah.
So I literally spent the past couple of days just grinding all these little things, and I got everybody. So now I could finally just rest.
And now you have it. So when people want to play Fortnite, you're like,
I got my little characters. I got Snake doing the Fortnite dance. Like there's like that weekend one that's hip right now with the kids.
It's pretty good. It's
pretty cute.
You got Old Snake doing stuff.
I got Old Snake. I got Raiden. I had to pay separately for Raiden, which is kind of bull. Whatever.
No, that's fine. It looks cute. Now you're good. Now you're set.
Yeah.
All right, gaming with the bros.
And it's kind of like my own. It's like a poor man's Metal Gear game if you play it a certain way. Because like a lot of people just go straight to like fighting, and it's not. I like sneaking around. Mm-hmm. I like hiding from fights. So it's almost like this like bootleg Metal Gear game that I'm playing. And it's even fitting with Old Snake because in 4 you're sneaking in a battlefield.
That is pretty funny, right? And there's people fighting each other and you're kind of just like weaving in between everything.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
It's kind of like a bootleg version of 4.
You don't have to explain to me why you're playing the game, right? Like you don't have to give me these reasons and excuses.
I know. And to be fair, I dabbled in Fortnite years ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it when I would be in a situation and then like someone would be building like this like something that resembled the Taj Mahal in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, no build mode is where you...
No build mode for me is where it's at.
No, honestly though, I respect people who do build mode. Like that takes an amount of skill I don't think I'll ever have.
Yeah, and not to badmouth the other mode. It looks fun. It's not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm glad that there's a mode for people like me.
No, that's fair. That's cool though. So congratulations for Fortnite.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. We also did an escape room recently, which was also really fun.
Yeah, we actually did it today. It was like a rescheduled birthday gift because I got we had done it closer to my birthday and then I got a little sick, so we did it today. And boy, we were killing it.
Yeah,
escape rooms. If you haven't done one, I feel like we spoke about escape rooms in a previous episode. Definitely do one. I would recommend this. Sometimes in like smaller towns or cities, you can do them like solo or with a small group. I know by us, a lot of the times they want to fill the room, so it's like, oh, it's for 8 people, and they'll pair you with randos. Mm-hmm. Nah, we're not about that. We're a two-person team.
Hell yeah,
2-person team.
And I would say it's a great team building experience. I know that's like a corporate thing to say, but it's great team building. Yeah, true. But it's also, for anyone out there, it's also a great idea for a date. It encourages communication.
It really does, though. We've gotten better. Our communication, I think, is top notch. Mm-hmm. But I think we learned also how to solve things together quickly. Because we got, you always get an hour for these escape rooms. For this one, we finished it in 45 minutes, mm-hmm. except for the last part. But it would have been done in 45 minutes had the last puzzle not been stupid.
Yeah, the last puzzle, we're not just complaining because we're stupid. The last part of this puzzle, it was like a meta thing where it was almost like breaking the story of the room. And then you had to figure out the puzzle from that. It took me out of it.
Yeah, no, it was actually pretty upsetting. But it was fun. I highly recommend it. It was a good birthday thing. Thank you, T.
You're welcome.
It was actually a really nice birthday gift. I feel like I'm celebrating my birthday all month. Last episode we took on my birthday. 2 weeks later, now we're talking about it.
I mean, it's a big moment. It's a big time of year.
I mean, it only happens once a year, so why not go big?
Why, that's very true.
It's
very true.
It's funny because your birthday, we're gonna be in LA for Metal Gear Solid Con. How perfect of timing is that?
I couldn't have asked for a better time to be in LA.
Yo, you're gonna meet David Hayter for the first time.
I can't wait. My only regret is that, from what I understand, that the con is doing away with the VIP line.
Yeah.
Well,
it's unconfirmed. They haven't put out the specifics yet.
Oh, okay.
So, but as far as like last year with the Kickstarter, if you did the VIP or like the highest tier, it was like a certain line. This time, that tier, the highest tier, there's no VIP line. But who's to say they won't make it like a surcharge or something?
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see.
I mean, we'll see. And if it's not a thing, it's not a thing. I'm not like, getting my panties in a bunch about it. But, it was pretty sweet.
If anyone from that team is listening, first off, thank you. And 2, thank you again for a fantastic convention. I'm super
I
excited.
had so much fun. I'm in New York, and I am thinking of making it a yearly thing for me to go out to LA.
I
So
think we will.
to anyone who's attached to MGS Con, I want to say thank you very much. It is very cool to run into dorks like me that share similar interests. It's a lot of fun.
No, it's funny because I remember being there last year and I was looking around and I was like, look at these bunch of nerds out here. And I'm there in my Cos t-shirt.
Your
like,
Kazuhira Miller shirt. It's like, look at all these dorks.
Look at these nerds. Get out of here.
They're not like me. I'm the only cool one here.
So no, but it's fantastic. Super excited. But yeah, what else is happening? I mean, besides that, we've recently gotten into sports. So
very recently.
Today's Sunday, the 28th that we're recording. I know, pretty late. We had a busy week. But the Detroit Lions game is today.
Mm-hmm.
Tom and I are big fans of a good underdog story. So we're knock on wood, by the time you hear this,
hopefully it's a good ending for the Lions. Hopefully. No, it was not a good ending for the Lions. Damn it. And I've been a Lions fan for approximately 2 weeks. So, I don't got a lot of passion as much of other Lions fans out there, but I'm rooting for them. I always, no matter the sport, I look for the team that I feel like, oh, they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I root for them. And the Lions is like the epitome of like that kind of team. And I hope they get it,
Also, we're mad late, but my brother showed me Barry Sanders highlight reel.
Yo, he was nuts.
I know we're like 20, 30 years too late, but I was like, okay, football's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Football's kind of cool. So hopefully we'll go to a couple games later this year when the season starts again.
That'd be cool.
But yeah. But anyway, I think that's about it. I mean, our intro's probably a little bit long, but everybody again, hello. Hope you're doing well. And you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time to start the podcast. But first,
that's so loud.
It's the pop quiz time. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It is time for the pop quiz. Are you ready?
I am.
Let's begin.
Okay.
As always, we have 5 questions in the pop quiz.
Do we always have 5 questions in the pop quiz? I feel like sometimes we have more.
Why would you start me off like that?
I'm just saying.
Why would you correct me in front of everybody?
I'm sorry.
Today's pop quiz is 5 questions, a mix of short answer, true or false, and medium answer, not long answer.
Okay.
Would you like me to read them and you answer?
Sure.
Question number 1. What tool does Raiden use to hear Ames's pacemaker?
Well, Raiden uses a directional microphone.
That is correct.
Wow.
I really like the little tidbit you told me about moving it to the left during that scene where Solidus is talking to Olga and Ocelot, and we hear Johnny.
Oh yeah. So I love those little Easter eggs. Maybe there's more. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
Huh?
Who is revealed to be the leader of Dead Cell?
Well, it was a double fake out because we were told it was Solid Snake, but in actuality, it's Solidus Snake.
That is correct.
Yay.
Solidus, I really feel like there should have been a plasma snake.
Plasma snake.
Liquid, solid, and then Solidus. I don't know.
Gaseous snake.
Gaseous. That's cool. You know what? I feel like it should have been like there's 3 of them for that experiment. It could have been. Anyway, correct. Question number 3.
Okay.
To the best of your ability, describe how the nuclear football works.
Okay. So, from what I understand, it works based off of the president's
Biometrics.
Biometrics. Thank you. Like his there's like a scientific term. There's like homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
Like
his body must be in homeostasis.
Yeah, like he can't be under duress. He can't be under the influence of any particular kinds of drugs. In short, he has to make the decision of his own free will to launch the strike. And it turns out that he did, but, we don't know why.
Correct.
Thank you.
Question number 4. Kind of simple one.
Mm-hmm.
True or false? Another name for the Patriots is the La Li Lu Lay Lo.
Yeah, it's true.
Correct.
Oh, right.
It was, last episode we did a really big kind of summary of all the previous parts. So this question is these questions are a little bit simpler, I would say.
Would you want to be called the Patriots or the La Li Lu Lay Lo?
The Patriots sound dope. Because there's like since it's in the U.S. Oh, no, wait. I don't know. It sounds patriotic.
Uh-huh.
It sounds like that name sounds like it holds weight and meaning. And I feel like with the La Li Lu Lay Lo, there's more of a chance to mispronounce it, more of a chance to like slip up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like not having a strong name that's simple to pronounce like lessens kind of like the weight of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, oh, there's a La Li Lu Lay Lo, like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of complicates.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
just me. What do you feel?
I feel like I would want to be called a Patriot because I feel like I might be associated with the football team.
Oh, so you want to also have that connotation like, me and Tom Brady?
Yeah. We out here deflating balls together.
Together.
Crafting conspiracies on multiple fronts.
I saw him in this hat and he looked like a feature character in the series. He looked menacing in this. He had this like, I don't know, it was a bowler hat. He had a hat and I was like, wow, he looks, I can't say it. But anyway.
He looks like a certain character.
He looks like a certain character who was, never mind.
Would you say Oppenheimer-esque? Like that?
Yes, that hat.
That hat.
That hat.
Okay.
He looked like a little bit like the Hamburglar, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I wonder which character looks like the Hamburglar. If you know, you know.
If that's the first kind of connection I made. I mean, in the sack, that character is very serious, but I just say the Hamburglar. Anyway, the question was true or false. The number name for the Patriots is the La Li Lu Lay Lo.
And that is true.
True. Correct.
Great.
Last question. Question number 5. What pieces of equipment does Raiden need to infiltrate Shell 1?
Raiden needs a Russian uniform that's specific to Shell 1. The ninja just gifts it to him. So, that's nice. Raiden then has to get an AK-74U.
AK-47U or 74U?
What?
Is it an AK-74U or an AK-47U?
An AK-47U.
Okay, no, you said 74.
That's what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, an AK-47U.
Do you know what kind of gun that is?
I don't know what the U is, but an AK-47 was like a Russian assault rifle that was made like a little bit before and after World War II.
Okay.
It's regarded as like the best assault rifle in the world.
Really?
I'm not like a gun nut, but from what I know through osmosis is that this gun is seen as in that light because you could like rattle it, you could like have it in like dirt, you could.
Is it well crafted?
Yeah, it's just very sturdy and robust, and like you could just have it sitting in your closet for decades and decades, not maintain it, and then you take it out and it works.
Do guns like rust or like you have to oil them? Like, is that a thing?
I don't know. Once again, I'm not.
Sorry,
I'm not knowledgeable.
Okay.
I don't know guns like that, but I know that
it's just sturdy.
It's a very sturdy rifle, and it is stronger than your average gun in terms of like longevity.
I see. Okay, so you need the Russian uniform and the AK-47U.
I don't know what the U stands for, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
But you need those two.
Yes.
You are correct.
Yay!
Oh, done. Sorry, I feel like we had these 5 questions, and it just prompted me to ask more questions. I apologize.
That's okay.
But correct.
Thank you.
We are all done with the pop quiz, everybody. Welcome to another part of Metal Gear University. And we are now going on to part 5 of Metal Gear Solid 2.
I didn't think that it would be this long, but I am enjoying diving into these conspiracy theories.
And the end is in sight, in my opinion.
It is. No, we were taking notes on this game, and we're looking at like the greater story, and we're like we're about after this episode in particular, we're like a little over halfway there.
So we're on part 5.
We're gonna do a bunch of 201 episodes after this because we gotta balance it out a little bit.
But anyway, everyone, thank you, and now on to the episode.
So where we last left off, Raiden defeated the Harrier.
Mm-hmm.
It was about to crash into the water, and a Metal Gear jumped out of the water, caught it in its mouth, and Solidus lost his eye. It was a whole big thing.
They got my eye.
It was a whole thing. Solidus is just like, Vamp, go.
Yo, and
go somewhere.
Vamp runs on the water.
He's got the zoomies.
Runs across the water, runs up against gravity, up until the strut, and then like just leaves.
I mean, honestly, it's par for the course with this man at this point.
How does Raiden not scream in terror though? That's like he has yet to like just scream for the depths of his stomach.
Yeah, I feel like Vamp in this game is like the most supernatural thing. Like everything else in this game is fantastical, but like you could almost like explain it away. Like you see that Solidus has like this suit that powers him. Mm-hmm. Fat Man is literally just a New Yorker
with some Heelys.
I see that man on the 6 train. He's around,
But this one running on water, we saw him get shot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still here. And I feel like too the fact of Metal Gear emerging out, catching the chopper in its mouth, and then in this scene, it goes back into the water and escapes.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff is escalating.
Yeah.
So Solidus again, he's in the Harrier that's the Metal Gear has in its mouth, and it swims back into the ocean. My favorite part of this scene is that if you're watching the cutscene, it ends with a zoom in on Raiden, and Raiden's just like staring. There's no comment, just staring, speechless, and then the codec goes. So he's just like hand up to the codec, just calls.
This is my life now. This is just my life. So
Raiden checks in with Pliskin first off, and they're both like kind of like shell shocked, but they're managing. They got a mission at hand. Pliskin is like, look, you can head to the president, but me and my boy, we got to stay here and fix the chopper. At this point, I don't know what prompts him, but Raiden's like, let's cut to the chase. Are you Snake? What prompts him? I'm trying to think, like, because it was just maybe Pliskin was just so nice with it. He was like, this is my hero. I know this.
It's a mixture of Pliskin being nice with it, but also I would say it's mainly due to Solidus addressing Pliskin as Snake.
True, and then my brother, like, I guess, the conversation. So Raiden asks him, and he's like, oh, are you Snake? And it is.
It is.
It's actually Snake.
But I don't know. Is it, though?
It looks like him. It sounds like him. He's with Otacon.
I don't know. I know they have the same voice actor, but I'm holding out. But we'll call him Snake for argument's sake.
So it is. Pliskin is Snake as of right now.
He's Snake. It is.
Snake said, and we'll be referring to Pliskin as Snake now.
From here on out.
Yeah. Snake says, I couldn't die just yet. He's like, I have so much left to do. So like, I defy death. Raiden is like, Raiden cuts to the chase and he's like, look, my man, I don't want to be here. If it wasn't for the mission, I would have been long gone. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you here? You came here voluntarily, essentially.
Which is insane.
That's
a crazy thing to do.
Raiden is like, look, I was assigned here. If I could, I would leave now. And so he's like, so he literally says like, Snake, I ask you, why are you here? And
Snake answers, that's pretty much how I felt about it 4 years ago. And that he was held up in the middle of Alaska, drinking too much, all by himself. Big sad boy energy.
Big sad boy.
Until he met up with his partner Otacon over a certain mission that we talked about previously. And they made a pact to get together as two buds. And it's a simple mission to eradicate every Metal Gear in the world.
For Snake, his whole mentality is like, I am fighting for what I believe in. And I think he saw the severity of what Metal Gear is capable of. Not only hearing what it's capable of, I mean, like having a nuke, but like seeing it. First off, the magnitude of it, he was like, I have to fight for what I believe in. And he actually quotes, well, he says his best friend.
Yeah. He says his best friend said something to him once, that we're not
tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at.
But at least I always fought for what I believed in.
Who was that?
That was Gray Fox.
When he says my best friend, I'm like, damn. But I love that he's with his man's Otacon. Otacon, I think Otacon really brings a sense of peace to him. And it's someone who I think they hold the same values.
Yeah, I feel that Otacon is a great character to be partnered with Snake because they hold the same values, but Otacon comes from like a different place. Like all Snake knew was war. And Otacon, although he developed weapons of war, I feel like he had like a relatively normal upbringing.
Yeah.
Relatively. And I feel like that kind of brings a sense of normalcy.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
A sense of normalcy to Snake.
No, I agree. It's and I think too the bond that they both cultivated in Metal Gear Solid 1, I think it continues on. You know what I mean? They have the same values. They went through so much in their upbringing, of course, different levels, but they went through Metal Gear Solid 1 together. And I think too from that, it's like when you work at a bad job and
that's a great
you have
example.
A terrible job, but you have that one coworker who is like that. You go to work and you're like, at least Kathy's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you make eye contact with each other every now and then. You're like, you see what they're saying right now?
You know, so that's kind of like I think like they just built upon that, and I think they found also just like a genuine kinship in general. But again, to quote Gray Fox too, I love that. I think it kind of, to your point in a previous episode, like it is shaping up Solid Snake's character.
Yeah, no, I feel that this game in particular really brings out all of these positive attributes that Snake has, and it's one of my favorite games that showcases Snake as a character. He does a lot of cool stuff in this game.
In this cutscene, in this codec that you're Raiden and Snake are talking, it's kind of a lore dump, I would say. It's a long conversation, and there's a number of items that are confirmed. A number of things that are confirmed in this conversation. 1, we wrote 6 bullet points. 1, it's confirmed, of course, that Pliskin is Snake, like we said.
Yes.
2, it's confirmed that the body that Rose found that was ID'd as Snake was actually Liquid's body. Otacon and Snake stole it from a facility and essentially staged Snake's death.
Yeah. I mean, good on them.
Damn.
They did it. They did it, man.
I've never thought about it deeply, but that's rough. Like, even though that guy was trying to kill both of them, it's like it's your blood brother, your twin brother.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Snake had no family, and that's the first family, and now he's dead and wants to kill you. And
you know, you could think of it this way: that it was the first positive thing that Liquid did for Snake.
Sorry.
Taking the fall.
Right. Great job, Liquid.
Snake and bullet point 3. Snake and Otacon have a NGO nonprofit, and their goal is to eradicate Metal Gears. The nonprofit's name is Philanthropy.
I like that. I like the icon for it. I don't know if it's like kanji or something, right?
Yeah,
but
I could be wrong. I think it's like kanji for peace.
that's cute. Future Tom.
Okay, so apparently it's a kanji symbol that is called an Otakon. So it's like a symbol for Otakon's name. It's also a kanji word for spirit. So that's kind of adorable. It's like the spirit of Otacon, and Snake just happens to be wearing it on his sneaking suit in future games. It's adorable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4.
Snake and Otacon feel that they have a responsibility to the world to serve the species.
Yeah, that's what they say, which I think kind of goes back to like they have the same shared values. Bullet point number 5. Snake and Otacon were here at the Big Shell to stop a Metal Gear from being created.
That's their whole reason for being.
And also for I guess being at what was the tanker?
Well, the tanker was a some sort of failed operation.
Yeah.
But apparently that something's going down now, and they're here to stop it.
Also,
Otacon is here because his sister is here.
small world.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, why would they bring in Snake and Otacon are known. Like Philanthropy is a known organization. It's a nonprofit, but people call it a terrorist group. So it's interesting that like people like for Otacon's sister to be here, it's like, what is with this family? Like, why is everything so tight knit? You have Snake's brother, you have Otacon's sister. Like, why is it all?
Yeah, it's like everything's repeating. It's weird.
Repeating like what?
I'm just saying that like there's a lot of coincidences so far, you know?
So you have, of course, again, this is only a conversation you're having with Snake and Otacon right now. After that whole little lore dump, you have a conversation with Colonel. And Colonel's just basically like, focus on the mission at hand.
Which is, honestly, when I played this, I thought it was the weirdest thing. Because when I was like a kid and I was playing Metal Gear Solid, Snake and Colonel had their beef, you know? But under it all, you felt that there was like some sort of like a bond that they shared with each other. And you really felt it at the end of the game as well. And like in 2, it's like Colonel doesn't even want to acknowledge that Snake exists.
Yeah, when you speak to him, Ryan's like, why didn't you, like, you didn't know that Pliskin was Snake? You heard his voice. Like, you didn't know? And he's like, don't worry about them. They were never part of the simulation. They're an unknown factor.
You sound like a robot. Like, what are you talking about?
Even if that is Snake, that has no bearing on your mission. Like, there's no emotion behind his voice whenever he speaks.
Yeah, no, it's a weird thing because like in Metal Gear Solid, he has like a very like approachable, charismatic voice. And then you get to 2, and he's like strict. Like, this is your next objective. Do this next objective. You are only doing this next objective.
And from my recollection in Metal Gear Solid 1, he would react to things like, Snake, I'm sorry. I remember him being like, I'm sorry,
Yeah, he would say sorry.
I'm sorry, Snake. And it's like very robotic, very much like, keep going, you know?
Like, damn, man.
So he
Give me something.
The fact that Raiden is still focused on the mission, like they trained a good soldier.
That's true.
Good for, I guess, whoever trained him. But in your conversation with Colonel's like, again, focus on the mission at hand. You have to find the president and prevent the password confirmation. Because remember, and like the pop quiz said, the nuclear football, it's a 2-part system, I believe. That the president has to input the codes, and then I think an hour later.
Yeah, there's like a system check to make sure that the president is like, yo, you sure about this?
So you gotta find, the president before that.
That check.
Colonel tells you the president's being held up in the core section of Shell 2, where Vamp ran into.
Amazing.
Spooky.
Amazing.
Rose says you can get to the core from the other side of Strut L. I forgot these are all numbered in letters. That is so complicated. This is larger than I remembered.
Yeah, the Big Shell. I mean, it's not a. This is coming from a guy that has played this game heavily. It's not that complicated of a facility. It's just the letters can be a little overbearing at times, I admit.
Did you get lost a little bit or no?
Not really.
You just wouldn't be able to name them by the letters and numbers, right? You'd just be like, go here, go there.
Oh, I would. I know it like the back of my hand. Are you kidding me?
No. Oops.
I could, if I sat down and thought about it, I think I could draw the map layout from memory.
Okay, I know. Okay, meta conversation.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid Con 2. It'd be cool if they have like a trivia part of like they have like a little panel with trivia. That'd be so fun.
That would be pretty cool.
So I love the moment after the codec calls, because in order to get to where Vamp went into, like the after the whole fight, I feel like the big shell's kind of damaged.
Oh yes, especially Shell 2. Or Shell 2? No, not Shell 2.
I thought you were expert on this.
Shell, okay. It's split up into two parts. There's the Shell 1 that has struts A through F.
Okay.
On one. And then there's Shell 2 that has the rest.
Okay.
And I just I know.
The back of your hand.
The back of my hand. Yeah. Look, I said I could draw out the map layout, not name you things, okay? Anyway.
Interesting.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Anyway, I was saying that to go where you have to go, the bridge is broken. Essentially, I think it was damaged in that fight. My man has to do a somersault to get over there. Like the flip that Raiden does to get over there is
he does
bananas.
like a Evel Knievel somersault. Alternatively, you could take a slightly safer route. You could grip the side of like a railing that is jutting out to the side, and you could drop down to the pipes.
I didn't know that. I always thought the flip was the way to go.
I mean, the flip is yo, you sure you want to do that?
Because you can fall in and die, right?
Oh yeah, it's so easy to just flip over and die. The first time I did it, I thought I broke the game. It felt like I wasn't supposed to do that.
Oh, like you had jumped ahead to something, right?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Because it's to me, it's like the way that Raiden does his somersault in midair and just drops down. I'm like, I don't feel like I was supposed to do that.
No, man's is acrobatic. Like my man did a side, ridiculous. Like if I saw a soldier do that, I'd be like, you got it. What am I gonna do? That side flip came too easy.
That man is meant to fight giant robots. You kidding me?
So you begin. You traverse to the president. Again, another continue on with a new mission objective.
Yeah, you do your sneaky stuff. You're sneaking on the sides of the struts. You're no longer going in them. You're on the sides of them now.
Yeah, these little railing paths, right?
And along the way, you happen to be underneath a soldier who really needs to go. He needs to go a little pee-pee. And he pee-pees off the side, and Raiden gets, for lack of a better words, Raiden gets a golden shower.
Disgusting. And I hate, too, you could have just went through that, and we as the players could have just been like, ew! But if not, Colonel and Rose are like, sorry, it's it is called what works for a reason. I already got pissed on. You don't gotta comment on it. We all know what happened.
Don't talk to me.
I remember when I played, I waited for the guy to finish peeing, but he never does.
No, it happens.
Oh, maybe I didn't wait long enough.
It goes on for a while.
That's what I'm saying. I remember being like, how much pee does he have?
No, I think he pisses for 2 minutes. It feels it goes on for a long time.
I remember waiting and being like, I guess that's it. So you just get a little showered on. And that's just, I guess that's canon, right? You just, Raiden gets peed on.
It's canon to me. Raiden gets peed on. Raiden gets peed on is canon.
Terrible. So you got to continue the mission with all that pee smell on you and go on and find the president.
You think he ate a lot of asparagus?
Honestly, I would be happy if he did, the soldier, because that means he's getting vegetables and stuff, whatever.
I know, but I can just imagine Raiden at the bottom going
First of all, Raiden probably already smells, so this is just adding on to the funk. Raiden has been doing somersaults, flips, running, shoot. This man is smelly.
He's rolling around in bugs.
Oh, the sea lice, So this man smells. He's just adding to the funk. So yeah, you go ahead and go past that. You run into, you go into a door. You go into the strut now, right?
Yeah, you go into Shell 2.
You go in and you run into Olga, but she doesn't see you yet, right? You go in and you overhear her talking to someone, right? She's talking to Solidus. We know it from his voice now. Solidus is like, yo, Snake is here. And if we remember, Snake and Olga had met.
Yeah, they met in the tanker incident.
So Olga is committed to killing Snake because she essentially wants to avenge her father.
Yeah, she's under the opinion that Snake sank the tanker.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't there witnessing what Asla did.
Yeah. I mean, by the time everything went down, she was probably like asleep somewhere, or like maybe just getting up.
I feel like she must have just been getting up because to survive the sinking of the.
That's true.
But yeah, she's like everybody else. She's under the impression that Snake
sank the tanker.
Salva's like, never mind you that. We have to keep the president alive. Because in an hour, he has to input the code again. So, like, focus on the president.
Mm-hmm.
Olga is, I guess, kind of protecting the president in a sense. She sets up this kind of contraption in front of the room where the president is. And it's, she presses a button, I think, and it electrifies the floor.
You got it.
Thank you. So she sets up the electric area. The ground is all, like, sparking and whatnot. And she's like, I got it. Don't worry. She leaves. You would think she should just stay there.
Yeah.
Why not just stay there?
I don't know. And come to think of it, why is there an electrified floor to begin with? That's bizarre.
Yeah, why are there booby traps in this? Like I didn't even thought about that. Why is that?
Why is it here?
And then, again, the way to get through it is kind of how you got through it in Metal Gear Solid 1. Raiden is tasked with getting a remote-controlled missile, directing it through vents to hit this control panel within the room that the president's in.
Yep.
Which is kind of like in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, where you had to hit the control panel to de-electrify the floor to get to Otacon.
Another electric floor. It's too many similarities in this.
Yeah, right?
Too many. So you have to get the missile to hit the control panel, and you can kind of like direct it towards the president while he's in the room.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Oh, like he just yelps, and for some reason, like I feel like he's like programmed to just be in your way.
He does kind of like right.
At the very least, he should go prone,
like on the floor.
Yeah, just like lie flat on your belly, because like the missile would just fly right over him. That
is true. I will be honest. If I saw a missile, I probably would do the same as him because I think I would just like it would not compute. But you enter the room after you disarm the control panel, and Raiden sneaks in with his little gun. He goes in, and the president emerges from like around the a corner, and the president's like, "You're finally here." That's not a military grade suit. It's like,
okay,
were you expecting me? Like,
yeah. What?
Like, what's going on?
And he's like, is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
Ryan's like, one part of the subtitles is just a question mark. Ryan's like, huh? Like, it's just a question mark. And the president's like, I am ready to accept the consequences of my betrayal.
Yeah, and Raiden is confused, and then he just gets groped.
The president essentially assaults Raiden.
Yeah.
He grabs his crotch.
Yep, and then he's like surprised to find out that Raiden is a man.
What is going on? I'm thinking, because when I first saw this, I thought it was because Raiden was so beautiful that he was grabbing his crotch because he was just assaulting him.
Yeah. Maybe it was a dig at Bill Clinton.
Was the game released at this time?
It was the Monica Lewinsky thing happened in like the late 90s, and this game was released in 01. So it was they were probably writing this game as it was happening, or developing it at the very least.
As I got older and learned about the history behind that scenario, that was really bad.
Yeah.
She was a child.
Yeah.
Like, if for those who like haven't thought about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton since it happened, like go look up their ages and like the situation.
Yeah. She was of legal age.
She was of legal age. It was consensual.
But man, was it disgusting.
Disgusting, the optics. And then maybe this is a dig at Bill Clinton.
Who's to know?
But yeah, at the end of the day, what the president did, grab Raiden by the crotch, that was terrible and wrong. I hated that. That was just weird.
Yeah.
And then Raiden really doesn't get to say anything with this. Like, it happens and Ryan's just like...
He's just got to take that.
He just takes it because of the president. And you know what? I feel like it's a Bill Clinton reference.
You see, that's what I'm getting at.
Ryan is just like, hello? And President Johnson's like, you're a man? And Ryan is like, what are you talking about?
Like, my man, come on.
Oh, I thought you were here to kill me.
So President Johnson kind of has like this realization moment going like, oh, you're not here to kill me. And you're here to save me.
You're from Foxhound.
Ah, things are making sense. Ryan, once again, is like,
Speechless.
yeah, let's get you out of here. Let's just go home.
This cutscene might be one of the longest cutscenes in this game. No, I felt like this was a major lore dump.
Yeah, the conversation that you have with the president is one of the longest lore dumps in the game.
We wrote 12 bullet points.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready. You want to go tit for tat?
Let's do this.
Okay.
So, first point from this conversation you have with President Johnson. Number 1, President Johnson was working with Dead Cell up until about, quote, 2 hours ago because he wanted, quote, power. Absolute power.
2, the Patriots are the truth behind this country. They have the absolute power. They control the military, economy, who becomes president. He says, what you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public. See, that sounds like this is big tinfoil hat energy.
It's big Illuminati.
But like, can you imagine the president of the United States going like, yeah, this is all made up.
Frightening.
Right?
Honestly, this is really heavy for a ride into here. On top of everything else he's been hearing, it's frightening. Point number 3. No one knows who the Patriots are, but it is known to be a group of 12 men called the Wise Men's Committee.
So it's literally the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. That's the Illuminati.
Essentially.
Like, the Patriots is just another pseudonym for that.
Mm-hmm.
4, the president wanted to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip to join the Patriots. That's why the president joined with Solidus initially. In my opinion, very stupid idea.
Yeah, and I'll say why I agree with you, and I'll say why after this.
Mm-hmm.
5, Solidus, however, wants to actually challenge the Patriots. He wants destruction. He needs the Metal Gear in order to stay alive and challenge the Patriots.
6, Solidus was actually President George Sears. He's the ex-president. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He is, of course, also known as the third child of the Les Infanteries project.
So it's Solid, Liquid, and Solidus.
Yep.
Number 7, Solidus was behind the Shadow Moses incident. He was behind Metal Gear Solid 1.
This man.
Due to Solidus, Rex and the Genome Army were revealed to the world. The Patriots made him resign in disgrace as punishment for that.
Number 8. Solidus was supposed to die after resigning, but Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. He got in contact with Dead Cell during this time.
And while hiding?
This is insane. Like,
and you know what's, I love that we did bullet points, because if we just described it as the conversation goes, it is complicated.
It's very complicated.
You know? Oh my.
I mean, the bullet points that we made for this podcast is complicated enough.
Yeah, and this is the second set of bullet points in this episode.
Insane.
Number 9. Big Shell, the thing that you're on, is actually called, or also called, Arsenal Gear, which is a Metal Gear. What you're on is a Metal Gear.
Yep.
It goes all the way down to the ocean floor. It is protected by mass-produced Metal Gear rays. So the thing that caught the Harrier, that Solidus was in.
That's more or less the little Metal Gears that are guarding this gigantic Metal Gear.
So there's numerous mass-produced. So this Arsenal Gear is protected by a number of them.
Mm-hmm.
It has a cajillion missiles and nukes on it. It has access to the military's tactical network, which gives it control over the nation's armed forces and armament. So it has its own missiles and nukes, but it can also control all the other missiles and nukes elsewhere.
Insane.
Arsenal Gear is meant to preserve the world as is. It's going to take the place of the Patriots one day, I guess when they die.
Mm-hmm.
Its goal is to control the flow of information. The GW system integration will make Arsenal gear fully operational. We don't know what the GW system is.
Yeah, they say it's some sort of like a program to control information. That's all we know. 10. The Patriots are fearful of an overabundance of digital information. The internet, more or less.
Number 11. The president wanted to take the GW system, that's essentially the program that they want to pair with Arsenal gear, and use it as a bargaining chip to join the Patriots. Because remember, Saldis wants to destroy the Patriots. The president wanted to join them. So the GW was going to be his bargaining chip. Saldis, however, he wants to launch a nuclear blast over the skies of Wall Street to break the Patriots' control over the business community. And he's dubbing, I think, that his nuclear bomb Outer Heaven, right? Or is Outer Heaven the area?
Outer Heaven would be Manhattan Island.
So after the nuke disrupts the control the Patriots have over Manhattan, it would be Outer Heaven.
Yeah, it would be like Solace is planning on just lording over Manhattan, going like, this is Outer Heaven now. Lovely. So Raiden's quote-unquote role,
Last bullet point.
thank you, is now to stop Arsenal gear. To find Emma Emmerich, who's a programmer for Arsenal gear and is Otacon's sister. She's located on level B1 in a locker room.
And that is the majority of, that's honestly a summary of this conversation you have.
Yeah, these are the major things that you gotta know. Take notes if so some of this might be on a test.
Honestly, this whole thing, we can just make questions for next, in 2 weeks. So real quick, just like to summarize, essentially, the President Johnson now, wanted to join the Patriots.
Yeah.
And was using Metal Gear and Arsenal. He was using things as bargaining chips to break into it.
Yeah.
Saldis, who was the previous president, he wanted to destroy them. He was like, nah, you are all doing too much. I'm challenging you directly. I think Saldis had the smarter plan. They're both dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah, both kind of dumb.
But this is the way I think about it, and I'm curious to hear your point. The president, you have what's essentially the Illuminati. You have this group of 12 men, maybe it's like men and women, 12 people who control everything. You think you can bargain your way in?
Yeah, you're not. You can't play this kind of game with people like that. Like, President Johnson is an idiot. I'm sorry, he's dumb. Because to even think for a moment that you could threaten these people into joining their little club, hypothetically.
No, but you're essentially he is threatening them.
Yeah, and then like hypothetically, let's say that they give in. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what, Mr. Johnson, you win. You're one of us now. Wink, wink. Hey, step into this room real quick. We got something we want to show you, and then you'll never step out of that room.
You know, I don't understand what you can't, like you said, threaten your way in and then not expect. You're gonna be always looking behind your back.
Yeah,
be over your shoulder, like what you know what I mean.
It is such an idiotic move for President Johnson.
Also, the way he flip-flopped in 2 hours, my man made a choice. So he made a choice to join Saldis and fighting the Patriots. And then in 2 hours was like, wait.
What an oopsie. This man, Mr. Magooed his way into a terrorist action. Like...
You know, like, it's like you buy something, you're like, damn, I wish I didn't buy that. I wish I didn't do this. My man plugged in the codes to a nuclear launch and was like, wait. Actually.
No, there was one time I bought a suit blazer from Macy's and it was way too expensive and I felt bad about it. And I returned it awkwardly like an hour later.
It wasn't a nuclear
weapon. It wasn't a nuclear weapon.
You know? Like, that was very expensive, I remember. And you came home and you were like, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, I was like, I can't go through with this.
But this guy, like, you know, like, President Johnson, I think his plan, like you said, he would have always been looking over his shoulder. They would have killed him the first chance they got.
100%. I guarantee you.
Saw this, I respect it. He wants to challenge them. And I think what's wild is that Shadow Moses was all him.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of his plan. That means he's been at this for years. President George Sears. And let's think about this too also. We now have the Patriots. We are now given the name of this official group that's essentially controlling, it's above the president and the government. It's controlling everything.
Yeah.
So I am very curious to see what else they're doing.
I mean, they allude to the Patriots implementing some GW system to control digital information and like an overabundance of digital information.
And it's wild that they're doing this. It's like, of course, what are all these types of like dictators and like leaders? It's like, oh, I'm the smartest person. I'm gonna decide what's right for society. So essentially, Arsenal Gear will continue on their legacy when they die.
Yeah, to dictate what the plebs are worthy of knowing.
You're gonna be given too much information. We have to control it.
Yeah, we're your parents, okay? We're gonna baby you and make sure that you know what you're supposed to know, and you'll thank us for it.
It's funny because like right now I'm like, do you think Raiden believes this? I feel like Raiden, honestly, talk about a flood of information, overabundance. This entire game, Raiden has been given an overabundance of information, and I feel like at a certain point you zone out.
Yeah, I think I'm speaking meta here as the player playing this game. At least I could speak for myself. I got to a point, and this was like when I was first playing this game, that there was so much happening that my mind couldn't hold all the information that it was throwing at me. And I feel that was like purposely done because I feel like you're supposed to be confused.
Yeah. No, I looked it up real quick right now on the computer. There's this idea called like the paradox of choice. It doesn't really apply, but essentially the paradox of choice is that if you're given an overabundance of options, it takes more effort to choose which one you want, and then you also feel like unsatisfied with your choice.
Yeah, I am a full believer of that. I think they said, especially with kids, if you give them more than 2 options, their mind goes blank.
So I mean, again, I don't think it applies to this 100%, but I think kind of to your point of like you're given so much information that at some point you can't even just compute or digest everything. It's too much for you to even handle. So at this point with Ryan's been given so much prior to this conversation with the president, and now he's hearing all of this. Also being told is that he's not even the highest authority in the land, that Saul, was the president, that there's this 12 men who control, like...
It's nuts. And then that there's like a super gigantic Metal Gear at the bottom of the ocean that has everything and it's going to silver through information. Like, what are we talking about?
Ryan is like, okay, we got to get you out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and then like if I was Ryan, I'm like, what is my mission here? What am I doing right now?
Well, it's a good thing you ask because the president gives you your next mission.
Great.
He says, of course, you have to stop Arsenal Gear. You have to meet up with Emma Emmerich, who is Otacon's sister. You can meet her. Here is card 4. Also, here's a program that will disrupt the control functions between GW and Arsenal Gear. Emma will know what to do. You got to bring her to the computer room. And I think the computer room's like level B2 on shell 1.
Yeah, you gotta bring her a distance.
So you got your next mission. Oh,
you also forgot this virus that he gives you. It's modeled after Fox Die.
So it's gonna kill certain...
From what I understand, it's when they say it's modeled after Fox Die, it's probably a program that is meant to delete certain information in a computer program.
I see. Okay. Oh, so like Fox Die. I mean, this one makes more sense than Fox Die itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Fox Die kind of makes sense. It's a very wacky virus.
To me, that's a bioweapon compared to like a computer program, like a virus.
Yeah, no, the virus version of Fox Die makes more sense, without a doubt.
So you're tasked with this, you're given all your information. Cool. But then President Johnson grabs your gun and he says, I want you to shoot me. Ryan is like, what is going on? After that whole lore dump, he grabs your gun and he's like, shoot me. And you guys tussle.
Yeah, he's really doing it. And like he's like, if you kill me, you could prevent the nuclear strike. You have to do this. This is your role. You have to do this.
Your role.
Yeah.
My what? Blah blah. But then we see President Johnson gets shot. And I'm like, Biden killed the president.
Oh my god.
That's what I thought.
He's who shot Kennedy again? He's Oswald. He's another Oswald.
He shot him. But it's actually Ocelot. Ocelot came into the room while you guys were tussling.
Yeah, and he has a smarky comment. He's like, alas, my finger must have slipped. Like, shut up.
Get out of here, Ocelot, or Liquid, or whatever.
Whoever you are.
And then he just leaves. Ocelot just leaves. He shoots him.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
I'll see you around, carrier boy.
I hate him.
He's such a sassy man.
That man has been watching people. He's like behind the scenes watching since like Metal Gear Solid 1. I think about that room that he was watching. He was talking to Liquid in Metal Gear Solid 1, and he looked at the cameras and saw Snake hiding behind the door.
Oh, yeah. No, Ocelot he's a shifty little man.
So smart.
Mm-hmm.
So swarmy. So yeah, he shoots the president and leaves. Okay.
Cool.
The president on the floor dying. He goes to Ryan and he's like, I wanted to die in my own way. There's this whole discussion on free will.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if there's no free will, there's no difference between
submission and rebellion.
It's pretty fascinating.
It's a deep line, and it's one that like Crystal and I paused on. We're like, what is the meaning of that?
Yeah, I needed more time to digest that.
Yeah, but
it makes sense because, like, you know, if you're programmed or set to do something, if it's not of your free will, like, it really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, whether you want to submit to the system or rebel against the system, if you have no free will to begin with, there is no difference.
There's no difference. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. If we did different episode titles, it'd be like episode 11, nothing matters.
Like President Johnson, life is fleeting and nothing matters.
But I mean, President Johnson in this moment is happy in a sense.
Yeah.
He feels like he did something of his own accord. That's what he felt.
Yeah, in his last moments, he felt like he made a choice.
Yeah, for himself. And I think with this whole conversation of the Patriots controlling everything, I guess he stuck it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Cool. Great job, Raiden.
Yeah, and also we forgot to mention, it's very minor. The room that you're in, you can't call people on the codec, so that's why the people outside can't call the president. He's in like an insulated room.
I forgot about that. Okay.
So Raiden is just in this room. It's all quiet, and the president's body's on the floor, and you're like, well, this is kind of awkward. So you make your way out of the room, and obviously you got to tell everybody what happened. Yeah, the president's dead.
Okay, before you go into it, I always laugh because imagine having to explain it. People are gonna think you killed the president. You're like, the president's dead. They're like, you killed him?
No, and then think about it like this. If Ryan gave the play-by-play, it's like, yeah, so then the president, he took my gun and he put it on his chest and he said, kill me. But I didn't kill him. Ocelot killed him.
It was the one-armed man.
It was one-armed man, I swear. He was literally the one-armed man. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. And then they're like, Ryan, it's okay. You could tell us if you killed the president. It's like, I didn't do it.
It's like, I know you've been through a lot in this mission. Just go ahead. You killed him in this one room where no one can hear the conversation. No one can call in. How convenient. The president dies in this one room.
Raiden walks in with the president. Only Raiden walks out. Interesting.
But I forgot. I guess you could call anyone first, right?
No, it's an automatic one. Raiden calls the colonel first, and he's just like, "Hey, Colonel."
The president is dead.
And the colonel's just like,
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
like, my man.
I'm sorry to hear that. Who?
What is this, like a Hallmark card?
I'm sorry to hear that. At least when you call Snake, it's a little bit more animated. He's like, what?
What?
Yeah. It's literally like, this is how I would expect a human being to like respond to the president being assassinated.
No, it's funny because like Raiden goes like, the president has been assassinated. And I bet to Snake, he's like, you killed him? Like,
What happened?
what do you mean? Also though, in this conversation, Snake is so sassy because Ryan's like, did you know about Arsenal Gear and like the big shell or whatever? And Snake's like, yeah, I did. Ryan's like, why didn't you tell me? And Snake's like, you didn't ask.
Cool.
Who can Raiden trust in this mission?
No one. If I was Raiden, I wouldn't trust anybody. Are you kidding me? This man, look,
It feels like he's a puppy. He's being toyed with.
yeah, like I know for personal bias, I know Snake is cool. He's on the level. But like if I was Raiden and like this man just revealed to himself to be Snake like fucking hours into this mission, I'd be like, my man, I don't trust you. I can't talk to anybody.
And again, in this mission, like, I mean, in this call, Snake is like, yeah, I know about Arsenal Gear. I know about the big show. There's another lore dump, in my opinion, where Snake explains what happened on Shadow Moses. And Otacon chimes in every once in a while, too. Snake also summarizes the tanker incident, so he reveals, like, look, I didn't blow it up.
Yeah, the Snake pretty much lures dump to Raiden what really happened on the tanker. So if you want a refresher, feel free to check out episode 1 and just listen to the tanker portion. But that's pretty much what he tells Raiden.
We also get the 5 following points that we felt were relevant. So Snake and Otacon feel that the whole tanker incident was a setup for them. Snake's photo was taken while he was on the tanker, and that's when they were labeled terrorists. So there was like a cipher, like a little robot with a camera on it.
Yeah, it looked like a drone.
Thank you. And it took a picture of Snake. So that's when the tanker blew up. Like these pictures of Snake were released. Like, oh, it was him.
It was him all along.
Point 2. Otacon believes that the Patriots wanted to make an example of Snake for being a hero. I think at this point it's kind of cool though that like we have someone else confirming that the Patriots are an actual thing.
Yeah.
And also kind of confirming that the Patriots have this larger plan for society.
Yeah. Otacon alludes that since like Shadow Moses, Snake became a public known figure and like almost like a folklore hero of like this one guy going around the world destroying all these weapons of mass destruction. And that he alludes that that's like going against the Patriots' narrative.
Even to, it's funny, right? Because Snake is literally a hero. He's doing philanthropy. He's a kind of cool dude. And like they're like, nah, that's not what we want.
We don't want Snake to be a celebrity. He's not a celebrity.
I think not even that. We just don't want him. That's not our plan.
Yeah.
Terrorist. So that's point number 2. Point number 3.
The Marines' Metal Gear Ray project was carried out in opposition to the Navy's Arsenal Gear project. Now, the Patriots considered Metal Gear Ray to be a thorn in their side. When they sank the tanker, they also immediately began building the big shell / Arsenal Gear. They took another tanker to the same location and sank it in the same area for camouflage. And that Ocelot said something along the lines of taking it back in reference to Metal Gear Ray. He then betrayed Olga and her father, Sergei, and blew up the tanker.
Let's break that down a little bit. So it sounds like the Marines were in opposition to the Patriots and the Navy was in line with the Patriots.
Yes, it seems to me that in a much lesser capacity, the Marines went against the Patriots' narrative. The Marines wanted their own Metal Gear, and the Patriots were like, "No, you're not getting a Metal Gear." No,
which is interesting because I think I think of kind of like an insurrection or like a like a part of the army turning up against the government.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like.
I don't even know if it's part of like an insurrection. I think it's just something that the Navy just wanted to
The
do.
Marines, yeah.
I'm sorry, the Marines. The Marines wanted to do it.
It's just interesting, you know? And I guess, I mean, but to me, I feel like it's an insurrection because why would the Patriots go this hard?
That's also very true.
Why not just be like, you guys gotta stop? Or tell someone down the chain to get to this point where they had Metal Gear Ray? To the point of then sinking and killing everybody?
Yeah, they decimated the entire
Whatever like that.
tanker of Marines on that ship. Yeah.
And like you said too, I got a little confused because when they sank the tanker, you know, the big shell was created, you know, to camouflage whatever, that quote unquote oil spill. What was the point of bringing in the other tanker as camouflage?
Yeah, we were thinking about that, and we were spitballing the idea that this second tanker was probably more narrative friendly, because like let's say if there was people bringing up wreckage of the first tanker that sank,
Good point.
there would be evidence that, hey, why is there like a lot of like maintenance equipment for like a Metal Gear here?
Also, why is there a giant hole in the side of this tanker?
Yeah, it looks like it was cut by like a laser or something. That's odd.
You know, I never even thought about that. That always confused me, but you're right though, because there would have to be also like it just not even evidence, but like, you know, as a government, you take pictures and stuff. You need that.
Yeah, and then also there's probably something along the equivalent of like a black box that they have for planes. There's probably something like a shipping manifest or something that shows what that ship was doing really.
Yeah.
You know, because Snake got that information himself. Remember all the way back in the tanker incident, he went into the computer on the bridge and was like, oh, they're testing the Metal Gear out in the middle of the Atlantic.
Good point. So the Patriots, okay, they thought this through. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think too, to this point, Ocelot took back Metal Gear Ray when, like you said, when he betrayed Olga and Sergei Gulukovich, he said, I'm taking back Metal Gear Ray.
Yeah, and he says, returned to the Patriots.
So Ocelot and the Patriots? Who knows?
It's weird, right? Because Ocelot's here now serving Solidus, who's working against the Patriots. But then if you look back at the tanker incident, Ocelot is working for the Patriots.
Point number 4. Solidus wasn't behind the tanker incident because he was in hiding. Raiden hypothesizes, like we just said, that it was the Patriots. And like you just said, that sounds like it's weird that Ocelot was working for the Patriots then and saw this now. So just want to clear that up. And then last point, Emma Emmerich is specialized in neuro AI. There's a whole long phrase, but essentially neuro AI. So why is she here in weapons development on the big shell? Otacon's confused. It's already.
Yeah, I mean, she's it's not her specialty.
So again, a lot of lore dumps in this. Very confusing.
And on the case of like, is Ocelot working for the Patriots or is he working for Solidus? Like even Snake comes in. He's like, look, we have other stuff to do. Okay,
We don't have time to talk.
we can't talk about Ocelot's motives right now. This is gossip. Okay.
So again, new task, because again, now the president's dead. New task, go find Emma. And you had already been introduced to water levels, but there's like, you have to swim now.
Yeah, there's swimming mechanics in this game.
And you use an O2 level mechanic for your oxygen. I will say this part was very hard for me. The swimming is very difficult. It's confusing, disorienting.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, nowadays, I could get through that like nothing.
Oh, it's like back of your hand?
Yeah. But I remember what it was like. Like, all you have to go on is really like your soliton radar. And for some reason, it's so hard to read where you can and cannot go on that radar. It's very easy to get turned around if you're not familiar with the environment. And there's mines around, like
floating mines.
Yeah,
right?
like literal underwater mines that are just floating. Because why not, right?
At this point, I'm not shocked.
If you look closely too, there's like another little raven figure.
Vulcan Raven?
Yeah, there's another little figure floating around in there.
That's actually kind of cute. You're traversing again, trying to find Emma. There's one point where you open a door, and it opens like a water room, right? Mm-hmm. And you get jump scared. I got jump scared by Stillman's dead body. Remember Stillman?
All the way back in like what, part 3?
Stillman, our man who had to stop his son, Fat Man. His body was floating in the water. And you go in there and the room is destroyed. So,
yeah, damn shame. That's probably where the bomb was.
So yeah, you go in there, you're swimming around, you get to a point where like it's kind of like a air pocket, and Otacon calls you. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I can tell you. He has some like. To me, it's always funny when people do pleasantries and then they call you for an actual reason though. It's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" I call because like just tell me.
It's like, dude, just please.
Otacon's like, I have to tell you something. EE, right? He calls her EE.
Yeah.
She's scared of water. Raiden's like this. Can she swim?
And apparently she used to swim, quote unquote, like a fish before there was an incident. In this incident, she almost drowned with Otacon's father.
Damn. So she almost drowned in the pool. That's terrible. What was Otacon?
Otacon says that he was up in his room, busy, and he couldn't hear her. And Ryan's like, "You couldn't hear her?"
Yeah, Otacon was like, Anyway, you're going to have to help her overcome her trauma. And honestly, the way it sounds, though, I mean, that part is kind of funny. Help her overcome her trauma. Mm-hmm. But we're kind of given information that Otacon and E are very close. They haven't spoken in years. Yeah. But they're very close. I believe after that incident, Otacon's dad drowned.
Yeah, Otacon's father passed away. But EE survived. And
I think EE's, because it was Otacon, his dad, and then Otacon's dad married this woman who
had EE.
So like it's a half sister, right? Stepsister, forgive me. But they were close though. I think that's what we get. They
were very close.
They were very close. And after that whole incident, EE and her mom moved to England. Mm-hmm. And I guess Otacon was already like of age, or he was older. He stayed.
Yeah, he probably went to like private school or then went to college or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So they haven't spoken in years, but Otacon feels for her. Like they're siblings. Mm-hmm. They're very close. So he's like, please, just want to let you know this. You're going to have to help her overcome her trauma. Like, good luck. Okay.
I mean, of all the things Raiden has to do, this is like probably the easiest thing he has to do.
And I feel like it's the more like...
grounded?
It's like, hey, I'm giving you personal information about her. Outside of this mission, you have this person who's scared of water. Just want to let you know, like she's scared of water. I'm sorry. Like, let me give you some background. You're getting things outside of the mission. I feel like it's just kind of sweet. Yeah. Even though it's kind of an intense situation considering how the water levels are.
Yeah, I mean, Snake says like before you even get to Emma, like drum the information in your head. Like, make sure you got it before you go, you know?
So, you continue on, and you enter into a room, and Vamp is there. Vamp is back, baby. Well, we found him, essentially, because we saw him run in.
Yeah, and this man is just sitting in, like, a meditation pose.
Cross-legged, sitting on the water.
Man thinks he's Jesus Christ or something. Like, what are we doing right now?
Might as well be, because you look at him and he has that bullet mark in the middle of his forehead.
And Ryan's like, how are you alive? You still ticking? And he's like, unfortunately, hell had no vacancies.
He also tells you that Emma is of no use. And she was essentially live bait to get Raiden.
Yep. Quoting Vamp, he says, sometimes Crazy Ivan speaks the truth.
Crazy Ivan?
I think it's a reference to Ocelot.
Crazy Ivan speaks the truth. What is that? Wait, why would he say that again?
I think Ocelot probably told him that, like, that weird looking guy is gonna get interested in Emma Emmerich.
Mm.
It would be imperative for you to wait for him in a cool way in the water room.
Cool. You gotta look cool when he comes in.
Pretend you're meditating on the water. It'll look relaxing yet intimidating.
I mean, and it was though. It definitely was. And I mean, they lured you. This is a boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
In this area, you have to fight Vamp, and I don't understand how Raiden thinks he can win. At this point, I feel like this man is invincible.
Honestly, like this boss, for some reason, to this day, I have like this like pit in my stomach whenever I fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Vamp he's a very imposing figure, and even though like I know what I could do, and he's not that bad, it's just something about his character that makes me nervous to fight him. You know what I mean?
No, it honestly him, and I also too Dead Cell. In this room, this cutscene where you see Vamp again, it was actually a little cutscene where he gives some more background on himself and Dead Cell.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Vamp volunteers his information to you. He tells you that Arsenal gear has a purified hydrogen bomb on it.
Oh, what else?
President Johnson initiated its creation, and Solidus is unaware of it. My question is, isn't Vamp is working with Solidus? Why wouldn't he tell?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Vamp just found out about it himself.
True.
Who knows at this point? Everybody's got secrets.
Everybody. Vamp states that they, which I assume is Dead Cell, lost everything 6 months ago. Dead Cell was scapegoated, and now they want revenge and to destroy it all.
They're basically the type of person that they felt like that somebody badmouthed them. And they're like, oh, okay, you badmouth me? I will destroy your whole existence. How dare you badmouth me?
I mean, I will say this, though, because Vamp is saying, remember, Dead Cell was initially this group that helped train, I think, the military, right? Like, they pretended to be terrorists coming in, and, like, the military government officials would have to, like...
Yeah, they would go into military outposts, perform these fake terrorist activities.
It's like an escape room.
They literally did an escape room.
Dead Cell was an escape room. Oh my god.
Wow.
Dead Cell was an escape room with live actors.
That blew my mind. That's what they are. Oh my god, that's what they are.
That's what they are.
That is so funny.
And what's essentially happening, Vamp essentially says that there was a situation where like people died, so you did an escape room and it killed people. And Dead Cell was blamed for that.
Can you imagine? It's like, the clue was to use your heart. I didn't think that they would rip out their hearts.
Vamp was essentially a good guy that turned, you know what I mean? Like, essentially, that's what happened. They were used for training purposes. An accident happened or something and people had died and everybody blamed Dead Cell. And Dead Cell was like, hey, yo, like, we weren't... Like,
that wasn't us. What are you talking about?
And Vamp was like, yo, we explained and told people and nobody believed us. Mm-hmm. And like you said, now you all gotta die. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But the fact that Solidus doesn't know about this bomb is interesting. That just shows me that Dead Cell is not a cohesive unit.
Yeah, they come off as very disorganized.
Mm-hmm. Not as strong as Foxhound of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, Foxhound, led by Liquid, I will attest to this day. Liquid Snake is a very effective commander.
Tom's like, to this day.
To this day, Liquid Snake held that crap down.
Yo, no, he was official. This group, it doesn't seem as like, solid.
You see, hey, like they're talented. They got the moxie, but they don't got the synergy. They don't got that team spirit.
And hey, what's talent without focus?
That's true.
That's
true.
So, but yeah, you get some little intel. Do the boss fight. How's this boss fight, by the way?
It's cool. I mean, there's kind of like a trick to it.
Yeah.
A la kind of like Psycho Mantis. It's not as like mind blowing. But you know, like how people shoot at Vamp and he does like these little ballerina plies and every shot misses.
Yeah.
Essentially, there's like an auto lock feature in this game. So if you use the auto lock feature, Vamp instantly dodges. So you kind of have to manually shoot him.
Oh, I see. Little tricky.
It's like a it's a little trick, but like it's not like it doesn't like it's obviously not as well known as the Psycho Mantis thing.
But it's on that level though of like you got to manually.
Yeah, you have to manually hit him
of your own free will.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh my! I'm gonna be honest. I just thought about that. That might be some meta thing, though.
Yeah, right.
We're talking about free will and choice. Auto lock, it automatically. But if you do manual, you have to.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, right?
I feel so smart right now. It's that escape room brain right now.
But
you beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yay!
And he essentially.
Yeah, he drops into the water and dies.
Again.
Apparently, we'll see.
Yeah, at this point, like I don't think the second time is a charm. He jumps in the room, and we're gonna end it there.
Hooray!
Vamp is dead?
Maybe?
Is Emma near?
I think so. Maybe she's in the other room.
Find out next time on episode
6.
Episode 6.
Wow.
We're almost. The end is in sight, though.
Yeah. No, past this part. Dodging spoilers. Like I feel like once we get to Emma, the game really kind of like it hits these big beats, and then there's the end.
Okay, and we're definitely going to do a 201 episode to jump right into discussion about this. I'm so excited for that.
No, if there's ever a game that deserves like a 201 of talking about like the big ideas of this game, it's 2. 2 is such a conversation piece.
And this one, I will say it's heavy. We really took the time to break down those cutscenes into bullet points because, again, like you were stating earlier, T, you listen to the cutscenes first off, and so much is thrown at you. You need a second to like watch it again and like really paste together the story.
Yeah, like if I feel like a lot of the people that are listening now are people who might have already played the game. But to the people that might be listening now or in the future, who are listening to this as they're playing the game and are listening to this to try to understand it more, you're supposed to be confused.
Yeah, this is a normal experience.
If you feel like you don't understand everything, that is a completely normal thing to feel. I didn't understand anything until like maybe like my 5th time playing this game. It's very confusing, and don't worry, you're supposed to feel that way. So it just keep trudging along and it'll click.
I mean, so far the game is fantastic as far as like, I would say the story is interesting enough to keep you going. It hits, usually with stories you get certain twist. It's twist after twist after twist in this game. We keep that in. And then the gameplay, it's fine.
I feel that the introduction of the tranquilizer gun, it's more welcoming to newer players. Mm-hmm. Because if you were to hypothetically not use the tranq gun and you neutralize people, an enemy guard would see like a body on the floor and they'd be like, whoa, what's this? And then they'd automatically go on caution.
Yeah.
Whereas if they ran into like someone who's asleep, they'd be like,
they kick them up.
Hey, get up, you. No naps for you. And then that's it. That's all that happens.
Yeah. I mean, this is a game definitely that a couple of playthroughs are needed, or like, you watch people play it over and over to understand. But fantastic so far. I'm really enjoying. I miss Fortune. I don't know where she's at. Hopefully we'll see her soon.
She's chilling somewhere.
I always love when they bring in female characters, so I really want to see what Emma is about, what EE's about. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, we don't speak about the gameplay much, but this was like the next gen game, so it runs so smooth.
Yeah, this game was, I believe, a launch title for the PS2.
Amazing.
And to this day,
it is one
one of the best looking PS2 games that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And it was a launch title.
Yeah.
Like the water effects alone is something that is really unique. It being a launch title, it just makes it even more astounding that like how did they do this so early on?
Yes, because when you play in the collection now too, it looks like the same essentially.
Yeah.
And when you play it, it feels great.
It's a really, really cool game. And I am so happy that new people get to play this game.
Yes. On that note, if you have the funds, make sure you get the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. T, thank you.
Thank you, Kay.
Of course. We're going to head out, hopefully watch the Lions game right now. We got to film one of your auditions, Tom.
Yeah.
And that's it. Any last words?
Yeah, I'm auditioning to be a serial killer.
He actually really is.
I am.
Knock on wood, we'll see.
Knock on wood, we'll see if I become a serial killer.
Oh my... And as an actor.
As an actor. As an actor, okay? Not an actual one.
Everybody, have a great one. Thank you so much. Love you all.
See you guys.
Bye.